for Sierra 2 traffic diamond, November 19er, 6 Delta Bravo, taking off runway 25 departure to the west.
Lining up at Hood River Airport, ready for departure. Today's planned leg takes us northwest to South Bend, Washington, but as always, the weather will have the final say. Off the runway, we've got spectacular views, Mount Hood standing tall off our left wing, and Mount Adams rising in the distance off to our right. Turning north, Hood River Town slides by off our right wing. This little community was once a pivotal stop for Lewis and Clark as they made their way down the Columbia. Today it's known for orchards, wineries, and world-class windsurfing thanks to the steady gorge winds. Crossing the Columbia River now, the great highway of the Pacific Northwest. This gorge has been a vital shipping corridor for centuries, carrying timber, wheat, and now container ships on their way to the Pacific. On the Washington side, there's white salmon tucked against the hillside, a gateway to the Cascades. Leaving the river behind, we're climbing back into the mountains. Off our right wing is the community of Husum with its scenic White Salmon River waterfall. Looking east, the rolling farmland around Goldendale stretches toward the horizon, while Mount Adams looms straight ahead. Passing Guler Mountain now, we make our westward turn at the first waypoint. to the right, Trout Lake, a tiny farming town known for organic dairies and herb farms, as well as a launching point for climbing Mount Adams. Coming up on Lemme Rock and the Indian Heaven Wilderness, hundreds of alpine lakes scattered across a volcanic plateau. Swift Reservoir glimmers. Ahead through the clouds, Mount St. Helens begins to appear. River flows below us, and the muddy river tumbles down from the slopes of the volcano. Blast zone. When St. Helens erupted in 1980, it was the deadliest and most destructive volcanic event in U.S. history. Scientists studying the aftermath were astonished at how quickly erosion carved the land and how fast life returned. It's a living laboratory that has even lent insight into global catastrophic events, including the possibility of a worldwide flood. Spirit Lake is off to our right, with Harry's Ridge just beyond. That ridge is named for Harry R. Truman, not the president, but a tough, stubborn lodge owner who became famous in the months leading up to the eruption. Harry ran the Spirit Lake Lodge, a rustic fishing camp on the lakeshore. In his 80s at the time, he refused to evacuate despite repeated warnings. Reporters loved him. He gave colorful interviews, sipped whiskey, and insisted he'd lived by the mountain all his life and wasn't about to leave it now. When Mount St. Helens erupted on May 18, the landslide and lateral blast swept through Spirit Lake, burying Harry and his lodge beneath hundreds of feet of debris. He became a folk legend, remembered as the cantankerous old man who went down with his mountain. Naming the ridge in his honor keeps his story alive, a reminder of the human side of that cataclysmic day. Now we see the crater itself, with that lava dome rising in the center. Let's circle the mountain for a closer look. Trails up here lead right to the rim, bouldering and scrambling across loose volcanic scree. Down below, Forest Service roads snake across hillsides, offering access to trailheads and viewpoints. Notice how quickly the weather shifts. When we first arrived, the crater was clear, but now clouds are rolling in. There's Johnston Ridge Observatory below, one of the best vantage points to see the blast zone. The ridge itself is named for David A. Johnston, a U.S. Geological Survey volcanologist who was stationed here in May 1980. Johnston was the one who radioed the first and final words of the eruption. "Vancouver, Vancouver, this is it." Moments later, that lateral blast swept over this ridge and he was killed instantly. To the west, Tuttle River cuts through the scarred valley, and Coldwater Ridge Visitor Center sits above Coldwater Lake. Even through the cloud deck, Spirit Lake Highway is visible, winding its way west. And here's the challenge of mountain flying. That marine layer has pushed inland. Our destination at South Bend was reporting VFR this morning, but it looks like those low clouds won't be burning off in time for our arrival. Somewhere beneath us is I-5 and the Chehalis Gap, the natural wind tunnel that funnels ocean air deep into the Puget Sound. This gap in the Coast Range is the only low pass that allows marine air to sweep eastward into the southern Puget Sound basin. It's the reason Olympia and Seattle get that cool ocean influence, while areas just south and east can be much warmer and drier. For pilots, it's a notorious gateway where weather can change quickly as coastal fog and clouds push inland. Time to call an audible. We'll divert northeast toward Olympia Regional Airport. It's towered, and while conditions are marginal VFR, communicating with the tower will give us confidence on the approach. Let's get clearance to descend through the hole in the clouds. Descending now, there's the Chehalis River winding below. Ahead, that looks like Black Lake, which is just west of the airport. These clouds are sitting low, so we'll squeeze beneath them. Turning toward the airport now, flying directly over Black Lake. Normally, we'd overfly Olympia at 2,000 feet AGL, that's above ground level, before entering the pattern. But with these clouds, we're already at altitude, so we'll go straight into the downwind. Cleared to land on runway 17. Turning base now. The Washington State Capitol Dome is visible off our right. On final. Touchdown. Welcome to Olympia, Washington. Not our planned stop, but that's the beauty of real-world weather. You never know what you'll get. Thanks for joining me on this leg, and I'll see you on the next one as we head north to Friday Harbor in the San Juan Islands.